Greetings. This is a planetary forecast covering the month of June of 2026. This monthly forecast is featuring Uranus squaring the lunar nodes. The Venus-Jupiter conjunction, as well as the important supermoon, should provide the foundation for the largest earthquake for the year so far. As mentioned, Uranus will be the special feature this month as it forms into a perfect square aspect of the lunar nodes and will be the foundational trigger of the previous retrograde stations of 2024, 2025 and 2026. This powerful astrological aspect roughly occurs every 7.5 years. This month the focus of this geodetic influence will be focused over the west coast of North America. Looking back at the previous two occasions where Uranus squared the lunar nodes, we focus on November of 2018 and also March of 2011. I've added two charts showing the exact time frames where Uranus squared the lunar nodes. We go back to March 5 of 2011 and on the right side October 28 of 2018. Left side we'll be looking at first. Note the date, just on March 5, just 6 days before the major Japan magnitude 9 earthquake striking just off the east coast of Honshu, Japan. And on the right side we see a cluster of strong earthquakes occurring just 6 days prior this time on October 22nd, striking the Vancouver Island region. Magnitude 6.8 followed up by 6.6 and 6.5, all earthquakes occurring within an hour of each other. It's worth mentioning that the following month, late November of 2018, Anchorage, Alaska was struck by a magnitude 7 earthquake. We had a retrograding Uranus holding this square aspect with the lunar nodes for a month and a half, and we get another major earthquake event. And note the position of the lunar node and also Uranus. Very close to the earthquake epicenter, its geodetic position was marked perfectly. So this monthly forecast video will be covering the west coast of North America for a major event, and this is due to the Uranus position with the lunar nodes in a month of the supermoon as well as the important Venus-Jupiter conjunction. We will now look back at the results of the previous month's forecast covering the New Zealand region as a prime focus and attention for a magnitude 6 earthquake around May 13 through 18. Now, New Zealand did see some strong earthquakes, a magnitude 5.1 on May 2nd and a stronger earthquake 5.8 just in the Bay Plenty, just north of New Zealand. So this was just outside the time frame, but we did see some strong quake activity in the New Zealand region. There was an AstroCartography forecast highlighting the longitude line stretching from South America, and this proved to be accurate. And this was focusing on the grand trine aspect between Jupiter, the lunar node and Lilith. And we end up getting a very strong earthquake in the Antofagasta, Chile region, magnitude 6.9 in the specified time frame for this astrocartography forecast. Now looking at the important astronomical events for the month, we get the lunar apogee on June 1st, the powerful planetary alignment Venus conjoining Jupiter on the 9th. We get the lunar perigee on the 14th, which is a supermoon this month. The 15th, Mercury reaches greatest elongation. The Moon-Jupiter conjunction will be supported by the Moon-Venus conjunction on the same day on the 17th of June. Mercury makes an alignment with Jupiter on the 25th, and the Moon will reach apogee again late in the month on June 28th. We're now looking at the important lunar aspects taking place and focusing on the simultaneous interactions. We get that a few times this month in June. On the 17th, we get a very powerful lineup where we get the Moon-Jupiter and Moon-Venus conjunction supported by the Moon-Pluto opposition. And on the 22nd, we get lunar oppositions of Neptune and Saturn taking place. These are the key time frames to monitor, but importantly we have a supermoon on the 14th, followed up by a very powerful moon on the 17th, so this time frame will be highly significant in terms of lunar influence. The moon makes its second closest approach to the Earth for 2026 in terms of distance, and it will be classified as a supermoon month, so the lunar influence will be almost at maximum strength. The lunar influence will be amplified as the Moon-Jupiter conjunction will be supported by Venus, and importantly Venus and Jupiter will be making their conjunction just 5 days prior to the supermoon. The supermoon has a very strong earthquake correlation, and we should see another major earthquake in the month, and it should be directly associated to the supermoon as it will be an amplifier, but importantly Uranus will be a key driver as well as the very powerful planetary aspects and lunar influence. Here is a list of the major earthquakes associated with the Moon-Jupiter conjunction within a 2-day period on either side. And we see a strong correlation with strong events. Now the Moon-Jupiter conjunction will be highly amplified this month, not only due to the supermoon, but also Moon-Venus and also the opposition of Moon and Pluto. And also Uranus is highly significant. And if that's not enough, Mars will be a key driver for major events in June of 2026 as well. On paper, this does appear to be a fairly quiet month in terms of celestial influence with only 2 geocentric planetary alignments. A powerful alignment, Venus conjoining Jupiter on the 9th, and Venus will make an opposition of Pluto on the 17th. But these two geocentric planetary alignments are supported by three planetary squares. Mercury squares Neptune and Saturn on the 4th and 10th, and a powerful square where the Sun squares Neptune on the 25th of the month. But we do have a very powerful Uranus squaring into the lunar node, and we have some very significant lunar aspects as well, so this could be a fairly powerful month. It must be mentioned that more details can be found in the earthsignals.com monthly newsletter. And now the planetary forecast for the month of June of 2026. If we look closely at the Uranus stations from 2024 into 2026, two of them are mapped almost in the same spot, and that is the longitude from Seattle down to San Francisco. This could also affect the Cascadia Subduction Zone, so that's the number one area of focus. And the next area of focus is on the 2025 station of Uranus, which is mapped just geodetically, just to the western side of Los Angeles, and it does stretch up towards eastern California and also the Nevada region. I do feel that one of these regions could be at risk for a very strong earthquake and potentially greater than 7.5 magnitude. Just briefly looking back at the 1980 Mammoth Lakes earthquake, magnitude 6.2, striking eastern California. Now this earthquake was quite interesting. It struck on May 25th, but the interesting aspect is that the position of Uranus making a perfect square into the lunar node, was exactly what's taking place in June of 2026. Now further supporting the 2025 station of Uranus, we get the partial solar eclipse of the same year, and mapped geodetically with AstroCartography, we can see that the Sun position is also focused right across LA, stretching northward into eastern California and also Nevada. It's also worth mentioning while talking about solar eclipses, in 1865 there was a very similar looking solar eclipse to the 2023 solar eclipse. We can see both images, note their appearance and symmetry. Now the 1865 solar eclipse preceded the 1868 major earthquake in San Francisco, and we are 3 years away, which will give us 2026, an interesting dynamic where we could see another earthquake across the region based on the solar eclipse symmetry. Now, I do feel like we need to respect Uranus in the month of June into the first week of July as it becomes exalted while squaring into the lunar node. So I do feel that there is a potential release of one of these stations, either 2024, 2025 or 2026. We should see some fairly significant shaking across the west coast of North America if my research is correct. Now looking at another region on the globe which could see a strong quake in the month. We're focusing on June 7 through 10 and the Vanuatu region, which could see a 7 magnitude earthquake or a potential volcanic activation. The major harmonics will be Venus trining Neptune, as well as the Sun having an opposition with Lilith. These combination could see some strong activity across the Vanuatu region or surrounding regions in the month of June. Now moving back to the west coast of North America and looking at the key time frame to watch for a major event, I do feel that the period of June 19 into June 24 could see this major earthquake, and it could be the Cascadia Subduction Zone or eastern California. These will be the two areas of main focus, and then we have Seattle and San Francisco to a lesser extent. But I'm concerned about the Cascadia Subduction Zone being the number one area of focus, and a potential megathrust earthquake, definitely something to watch and consider. Just summarising the major events that are upcoming in the month of June, stretching in towards the first week of July. We get the important supermoon on June 14, followed up by the position of Uranus squaring the lunar nodes, an extremely powerful position. And then we have the powerful conjunction of Mars and Uranus linking in to a geocentric alignment on July 4. So we can see at a period from June 14 into July 4 could see some major earthquake events as well as very significant geophysical events as well. Just one more thing to consider, the nodal positions have two aspects, the true node and the mean node position. If we are using the true node, the official time of the Uranus square the lunar nodes will be on the 12th, and if we use the mean node position, it will be on the 20th of the month. Now if we use the true node position, it brings us back 8 days in the software to the 11th and 12th of June, and very close to the Venus-Jupiter conjunction. Now if we plot them on a map, the Venus-Jupiter conjunction is focused with their trine aspect over the Vanuatu region, as mentioned in this video and the forecast, but also it's focused over the Cascadia Subduction Zone, which is quite fascinating. So not only do we get a Uranus station of 2024 and 2026 focused over the Cascadia Subduction Zone, but we also get the planetary alignment of Jupiter and Venus focused over the Cascadia Subduction Zone as well. I've converted over the solarwatcher.net and quakewatcher.com websites into one place, and that is the earthsignals.com website. Now there's plenty to offer on this website. I highly recommend people to go over and have a look. And now this website is a fantastic creation of a web developer. I will leave his link in the description box, as I do highly recommend his services. There's a bunch of content being uploaded outside of YouTube which focuses on AstroCartography videos, as well as important solar watch videos and special reports covering specific regions in the globe and past major earthquakes, all exclusive content for members and subscribers of earthsignals.com. That concludes this important planetary forecast covering the month of June of 2026. I'm very concerned of a major quake across the west coast of North America, so please keep safe, and thanks for watching.